welcome to Danielle's backyard. Today we're going to film a garden tour. So I live in southeast Georgia, and here in my backyard I have a little over 40 raised beds, and not all of them are filled up with food right now. Some of them are in cover crops, some of them are empty of soil that we have to go and get some compost and fill them. But a majority of them are filled up with food, and I'm going to show you what I have growing here. So here behind me I did a succession plant of zucchini, which is coming up. And I did them all in these 4 beds here, but not all of the zucchini came up in these 2 beds here. And along the back of my trellis here, I have yard-long beans. I'm so excited to grow those this year. They're just starting to flower, and they have reached the top of my trellis. And we're going to be picking beans till we get our first frost. So here I have Anaheim peppers. They're not doing too well. They're kind of turning yellow and stuff from all the moisture. We live in a very humid environment, and we've been getting quite a bit of rain this past couple of weeks, and they're showing it. And then back here I have some cayennes that I picked up from a local nursery because I thought these were cayennes, but they're Anaheims again. And so we've been picking them as we need them and been freezing them too. Over here I have what I thought was tender improved bush beans. They're not bush beans, they're pole beans. I got them from my local seed and feed and they were mislabeled. So they're too close together for pole beans in this bed. I did them really thick, thinking they were going to be bush beans and just grow, you know, about this high, but they're not. They're growing all together, and they literally look like they're melting. You can see back behind me, they're getting mildew and they're just melting, the leaves are. So I've been pulling some out, but I've also been picking a few. I dislike pole beans because I like bush beans because they all produce at once, and pole beans just trickle in, and that's just not what I want for my garden. I want all of them at one time so I can can them and preserve them. But I've been doing what I can with them. I'm more excited about the yard-long beans because they produce a lot, so they're not like a trickle, more like these are. So that's what I'm more excited about, and more what I'm waiting on. I probably will pick up some more bush beans because I have until like mid-November before I have to worry about a frost in my area. So I have plenty of time to plant out bush beans. In this bed here, I did a cover crop which is just starting to sprout. I can see these tiny little green leaves everywhere. And I have 4 beds in my garden that are covered in cover crop. What I'll do is I'll just come in and pick what we want to eat, which is mustard greens. And I'll pick some for the chickens, and I'll also, when I'm ready, I'll just turn them into the leaves, the spent plants, into the soil, and it will feed my soil and get me ready for my September planting of fall crops. And back behind me is the tomato jungle. I have not did any kind of trellising on these. They're just sprawling everywhere, and they've actually slowed down in production because it's so hot right now. Tomatoes, when it's 90 and above, they have a hard time setting flowers, and that's just what we're going to do. But come September, if I can keep these plants halfway decent, they will start producing again, and we'll have more tomatoes coming in until November. In this bed, I have my second planting of corn. We had a storm come through yesterday and blow over the corn. It will lean back up eventually when it follows the sun. And then back in here, more pole beans. I did not want to be pole beans as planted. And then we have spent corn back here in the back, which I need to pull up. And then I have Tabasco peppers. That's the main pepper that I'm growing this year for hot sauce. So I had to get out here and start picking all these red peppers I'm seeing. And then I have cantaloupe that is sprawling and going this way, and we have plenty of cantaloupe. We've already had like 3 that we've eaten, and some of them have busted and cracked from the rain. So they've been going to chickens, and everybody's been eating good from this garden this year. To finish this tour up, we're gonna end up at my jalapenos. Most of my jalapenos I pick green, but some I let to go red because we make hot sauce for those too. And it's really delicious. I have a jar in my fridge right now that I made up from jalapenos and habaneros, and it's so good. So that's what we've been doing. We've been harvesting peppers and beans and preserving all the foods from our garden. And back behind me you can see the whole garden pretty much. Flowers and beans and everything. Thank you for joining me at Danielle's backyard, and come back and see more food being grown.